It's Treehouse ASMR here. Welcome up into the treehouse. And today we have our first serious off-season injury news for NFL. And that would be right here. Cam Akers tore his Achilles early this morning. That's just brutal. That's brutal news to Cam Akers and his family, to the Los Angeles Rams organization, their fans. That is just rough. That's looking like a torn Achilles is a year-long injury. It takes about a year to recover. And yeah, I just saw this news this morning. I was waking up, getting out of bed, scrolled through Twitter. First thing I saw was Los Angeles Rams running back Cam Akers, blown out Achilles. Man, that stinks because he was just turning on at the end of last year. He was going off. And in today's video, we'll give you guys a little update on Cam Akers, what the future looks like for Cam Akers and the Los Angeles Rams organization, and what they can do to replace him and who can step up. So I play a lot of fantasy football. This is my first real football update video that we're going to be doing on this channel. There's going to be plenty more of these. We're going to see a lot of more injuries, a lot of more news breaking updates as we near closer to the NFL season. So just stay tuned for that, guys, and subscribe to the channel to see some more. So yeah, Cam Akers blew out his Achilles. He's done for the year. I play a lot of fantasy football, and Cam Akers was a beast at the end of the year in fantasy playoffs and towards the end of the season. He carried some teams into the playoffs and won some teams some fantasy championships. He was that guy at the end of the year. Right here, I have a stack of cards that are players that I think the Los Angeles Rams can sign in free agency or possibly trade for to replace Cam Akers. And let's just take a look at Cam Akers. With both of their quarterbacks less than 100% healthy, the Rams had to lean on the running game in 2021's Super Wildcard Weekend. Akers answered the call for help and torched Seattle's defense for 176 total yards and a touchdown. His brilliance helped guide the Los Angeles to a 30-20 win. So before we get into that, I do have another Cam Akers card that I kind of wanted to look for and see if it had his stats on the back of the card. Let's just take a quick look. If I can't find it, then we'll just move on. But I know I have one. He was cooking at the end of last season. Let's see. Should be I think it's over here somewhere. Maybe I'm bugging. Josh Allen, George Kittle, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, guys. I kind of have a lot of cards. I don't want to take up too much time in the video, but maybe some of you guys will like this little hunt. Maybe I missed it. Maybe somebody in the comments saw it. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I don't. Henry Ruggs, Joey Bosa, Jake Fromm, State. Oh, here it is. Cam Akers, right here. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I do have another Cam Akers card. He's right here. Cam Akers Panini rookie card right there. Let's see, Does it have the stats on the back? It does. Let me just slide that right on out. Cam Akers next to Jalen Reagor. So Cam Akers right here. Los Angeles Rams Panini rookie. 145 attempts last season, 625 total yards, 4.3 average, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches, 123 yards, 11-yard average for receptions, and 1 receiving touchdown. So at the end of last season, every time he touched the ball, there was like a 3-week span. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting a first down. He was going off. It was incredible to watch. I think that was when Darrell Henderson was hurt. He was the only viable running back, really. But yeah, let's get into what I think the Rams can do with the new injury to Cam Akers. So, going into this season, Cam Akers was going to be the guy. He really was going to be the running back 1 for the Rams. I play a lot of fantasy football, as I said before, and I'm in a keeper league, which a keeper league is where you keep a player that was on your roster from the previous year. So you try to keep a cheap player, a beast player, one of those players maybe you got in a later round that turned out to be a stud, or you just go ahead and you keep like one of the best players in the league, like Alvin Kamara or somebody along those lines, like Devontae Adams. You don't really let those guys go, so you want to keep that player, but you only keep one player. So my league, I don't think nobody was going to keep Cam Akers because the guy who had Cam Akers on his team also had like other players that he'd rather keep, but Cam Akers was a first-round pick. Like, going into this new season, he was going to be a first-round pick in fantasy football, no doubt. Running backs are hard to come by, and he seemed to be the next and up-and-coming young running back in the league. And he was looking like he was going to be a top 15, top 10 running back pick, or top 10 pick overall. If I were to pick in the late end of the first round, possibly I was looking at taking Cam Akers this year. That just stinks that he got hurt. So let's see. I was thinking Darrell Henderson is going to be the next guy up on the Los Angeles Rams. He's a hefty back. He's kind of a bruiser. He's not going to juke you out of your boots. But Darrell Henderson, this is a make or break year for Darrell Henderson. If he does not take a step forward this year, the Rams are likely to move on from him and look to draft or trade for a running back next season. That's not to say that the Rams are not going to make a trade for a running back in the next few weeks, or maybe even this week. Who knows? Because there are plenty of running backs out there that teams are not highly invested in, or that teams would like to part ways with, or just free agent running backs that I think that the Rams could likely sign. So let's see. We have James Robinson. The Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams, honestly, they should give Urban Meyer and the Jaguars a call for James Robinson, since the Jaguars just drafted Travis Etienne at the end of the first round of the draft this year. James Robinson was a cheap, undrafted free agent signing from the Jaguars last year, who had a great rookie season, and maybe the Jaguars think that he already hit his peak. They might be willing to trade him away to the Los Angeles Rams. I wouldn't be surprised, and I would think that would be a great move for the Los Angeles Rams. I would really make a push if I were the Los Angeles Rams to get James Robinson. We could see a return of Todd Gurley in a Los Angeles Rams uniform. I don't think this is going to happen, but Todd Gurley is a free agent. He left the Rams 2 years ago, and he didn't really do much after he left the Rams, but maybe we could see a return of Todd Gurley to the Los Angeles Rams, and he could finish his career out where he started. I wouldn't be surprised with this signing, but I don't think it's likely to happen. We could see Le'Veon Bell signed by the Los Angeles Rams, who is also another free agent running back. There seems to be some issues wherever Le'Veon Bell goes, and it seems that he is the issue, and he plays the blame game. He really does play the blame game. He's always complaining. He's always butting head with head coaches. He's always he's just a big locker room problem, it seems to be, but he's a pretty good talent, I would have to say. I don't think it would be worth signing him. In my personal opinion, it wouldn't be worth bringing him into a locker room right now. But yeah, with all the nonsense that he brings, I don't think it would be likely or a smart move for the Rams to sign him, but it is a possibility. I don't know if any of you really saw the news when the Chiefs signed Le'Veon Bell, or traded for Le'Veon Bell, I think it was, with the Jets. He forced a trade. It was weird. He just has issues everywhere he goes, but when he got traded, or I think it was a trade, I can't remember correctly, from the Jets to the Chiefs, maybe it was a signing, I think the Jets forcibly cut him, and then the Chiefs signed him, if I remember correctly, last year, in the middle of the season. But yeah, he butted heads with the head coach of the Jets. That guy was a clown. He was terrible. And then he was signed by the Chiefs by one of the best coaches in the history of football, Andy Reid. And he wasn't signed back to the Chiefs. He was barely used by the Chiefs. But when he got cut by the Chiefs, or he wasn't signed back by the Chiefs, he realized he wasn't being signed back. He came out on Twitter like he usually does. He's one of those guys that has Twitter fingers. He's always talking down on whoever previously had him. He's never humble. He came out and he talked down and talked bad on Andy Reid, of all people. Andy Reid, everybody knows that Andy Reid does what needs to be done. He's a true football guy, one of the smartest football minds you'll ever see. And Le'Veon Bell came out and was saying how Andy Reid was misusing him. Andy Reid, I think he used that Andy Reid was being racist at one point. Le'Veon Bell is just not right in the head. There's something wrong with the guy. He was a huge talent, and he could still be a huge talent, but he seems to be an absolute moron, pardon my language, but absolutely he is. So yeah, Le'Veon Bell could be signed. Frank Gore could be another free agent signing from the Los Angeles Rams. Frank Gore is just an absolute bell cow workhorse. He is good for 4 yards no matter what, no matter how old he is, no matter how good or bad the offensive line he is playing for behind. He is good for 4 yards. He will get you that first down. It truly is incredible the career that Frank Gore has had and how he continues to churn his legs and just continue and move the pile on year in and year out. It would be incredible to see him play with his son. I think his son is did he get drafted? I don't know if his son is even NFL eligible. I should have looked into that before I made this video, but I know Frank Gore has a son in college football, or maybe he's getting free agent signed or drafted. I don't know. I feel like I would have seen something if he got drafted. But that would be really cool to see Frank Gore play in the league with his son. His son is also a running back, and his son looks exactly like him. It's weird as hell. You guys should look at that if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Frank Gore's son. Frank Gore could be a signing. I don't think that's the path that the Rams are going to go. I would rather see the Rams go for maybe a younger developed guy they already have drafted in their organization, or a free agent signing, maybe a younger guy who we'll see. I don't think they're going to go the route of one of these older players. And Myles Gaskin, the running back of the Miami Dolphins, he did just sign for some money, but He was hurt last year. I could see him being traded away from the Miami Dolphins to the Los Angeles Rams. They're not in the same, they're different divisions or conferences, AFC, NFC. They would have no impact on the Dolphins. Miles Gaskin is a really good running back. He showed a lot of promise last year. He just got hurt, which stinks. Averaged 4.1 yards, 3 touchdowns, 41 receptions, 388 yards, 9.5 yard reception average, 2 touchdowns. He was just running wild all over the place last year, catching 1,000 balls. He was going crazy. He did get hurt, and I think that he could be a good trade target for the Los Angeles Rams. So I know that the Rams, they have Darrell Henderson. They have a guy named Jake Funk, I think his name is. He's a little running back from Maryland. He seems to be like a little lightning in a bottle type guy. Maybe he can be good since he's already on the team. He might not even make the roster though. So yeah, this was just a little injury update video. Our first injury major breaking news up in the treehouse on this channel. And let me know who you guys think that the Rams will get and what you guys think about the Cam Akers injury. It is brutal. He was going to be a stud for sure. I think he was going to have a good season. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below of me doing some injury updates, some NFL breaking news updates up in the treehouse. That'll be it for today's video. Our first injury update was Cam Akers of the Los Angeles Rams. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, have a good day, guys. Have a good night. Take it easy. Bye, guys.